Imagine being in a marriage that has completely broken down, but your spouse says, "I'm not giving you a divorce." Can they actually stop you? And what if you have children, property, or shared finances? What happens then? Most people think divorce is simply a matter of signing papers and walking away, but under UK law, the process is far more structured than many realize. If you misunderstand your legal rights, it can delay your case, affect your finances, and create serious complications later. So, in this video, I'll explain exactly how divorce works in the UK, what law governs it, and what rights you have when a marriage comes to an end. First, it is important to understand that separation does not legally end a marriage. You can live apart for years, you can stop speaking to your spouse, you can even agree that the relationship is over, but until the court grants a divorce, you remain legally married. And that matters because legal marriage affects your finances, inheritance rights, property ownership, and many other legal responsibilities. That is why understanding the formal divorce process is essential for anyone considering separation or divorce in the UK. The main law governing divorce in England and Wales today is the Dissolution and Separation Act 2020. This law introduced one of the biggest changes to divorce law in modern UK history, what is commonly known as no-fault divorce. Before this reform, a spouse often had to blame the other party for the breakdown of the marriage, for example by alleging adultery or unreasonable behavior. But that is no longer required. Under current law, the only thing that must be shown is that the marriage has irretrievably broken down. In simple terms, that means the relationship has broken down permanently and cannot reasonably be repaired. And importantly, the court generally accepts your statement without demanding evidence of blame or misconduct. Another major change is that divorce can now be started by one spouse alone or jointly by both spouses if they agree. There is also a mandatory 20-week reflection period after the application is filed. This waiting period exists to give both parties time to reflect, consider reconciliation if possible, and begin resolving financial or child-related matters. And perhaps most importantly, under modern divorce law, one spouse usually cannot stop the divorce simply because they disagree with it. If one party says the marriage has irretrievably broken down, the court will usually proceed unless there is a very limited legal reason to challenge the application. Now let's talk about your rights, because divorce is not just about ending the marriage, it also affects finances, property, and family arrangements. First, either spouse has the legal right to apply for divorce if they believe the marriage has irretrievably broken down. Second, divorce does not automatically settle finances. Many people wrongly believe that once divorced, everything is automatically split. That is not true. Both spouses may still have legal claims regarding the family home, savings and investments, pension rights, spousal maintenance, and lump sum financial settlements. Those financial rights are dealt with separately under matrimonial financial laws. And if children are involved, divorce itself does not automatically decide who children live with or how contact works. Both parents continue to have legal rights and responsibilities towards their children unless a court orders otherwise. Finally, each spouse has the right to obtain independent legal advice throughout the process to protect their interests.
Let's take a practical example. Imagine Sarah and Ahmed have been married for 10 years. Their relationship breaks down, and Sarah decides she wants a divorce. Ahmed refuses. He says he does not agree and will not sign anything. Many people assume that means the divorce cannot proceed, but under current UK law, that is generally incorrect. Sarah can still apply for divorce on the basis that the marriage has irretrievably broken down. And unless Ahmed can show a very specific legal reason, such as jurisdictional issues or procedural defects, the court will normally allow the divorce to continue. However, even once the divorce itself progresses, disputes may still arise over the house, savings, pensions, or arrangements for children. That is why divorce is often legally more complex than simply ending the marriage. So what happens if someone ignores the legal process or attempts to misuse it? First, if one spouse tries to hide assets during financial proceedings, for example by concealing bank accounts, transferring property, or understating income, the court can impose serious consequences. That may include reopening settlements, awarding a larger share to the innocent spouse, or making adverse cost orders against the dishonest party. Second, if a party breaches court orders relating to finances or children, the court may enforce those orders through further legal action. And importantly, if parties separate but never formally resolve financial claims, one spouse may still bring financial claims years later, even after divorce, unless a proper financial order has been approved by the court. That is a mistake many people make. They finalize the divorce but leave finances legally unresolved. If you are considering divorce, the legal process generally works like this. First, a divorce application is filed with the court, either by one spouse or jointly. Second, the 20-week reflection period begins. Third, once that period ends, the applicant can apply for a conditional order, which is the court's confirmation that the divorce may proceed. Fourth, after a further waiting period, the applicant can apply for the final order, which legally ends the marriage. But alongside that process, if finances are involved, you should also seek legal advice early, obtain full financial disclosure from both parties, attempt negotiation or mediation where appropriate, and secure a legally binding financial order approved by the court. If children are involved, child arrangements should also be addressed separately, either by agreement or through court proceedings if necessary. So, to summarize, divorce in the UK is now based on a no-fault system. You no longer need to prove adultery, unreasonable behavior, or other blame-based grounds. If the marriage has irretrievably broken down, either spouse can apply. But divorce itself only ends the marriage. It does not automatically resolve finances, property, or child arrangements. And unless those issues are dealt with properly, legal disputes can continue long after the divorce is finalized. Understanding divorce law is not just important for people ending a marriage, it is important for anyone who wants to protect their legal rights before problems arise. If you found this video helpful and want more clear explanations of UK laws and legal rights, subscribe to BritLaws and follow the page for regular legal awareness content. And if there is a UK legal topic you want explained next, leave it in the comments below. Because knowing the law is the first step to protecting your rights. Your appreciation means a lot for us. Stay safe. See you in the next video.